Quad is, with the possible exception of India being somewhat shaky on some of this.
The US warns India. Why? Because India is buying discounted oil from Russia, and that to the US seems like India is trying to circumvent American sanctions. The US wants India to comply with its sanctions and not raise its oil purchase more than last year. The US's stance comes right after Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov visited New Delhi to discuss ruble-rupees payment for bilateral trade, including India's purchase of Russian oil. The ruble-rupee mechanism is allowing Indian exporters to get paid in their local currency instead of the dollar or other international currencies. The trade can also help India contain some of its current economic trouble. Since the war broke out, India has at least purchased 13 million barrels of Russian oil. Compare it to last year's figure, which was 16 million barrels, there is a significant spike in export. While India buys cheap Russian oil, they also contracted 45,000 tons of Russian sunflower oil at a record high price as edible oil prices in the local market surged due to Russian invasion of Ukraine. The surge in imports is due to refiners in India taking advantage of the discounted price of Russian oil. US's warning to India is clearly a knee-jerk reaction, as it's in direct conflict with the US trying to subdue Russia through its sanctions. US sanctions are reducing Russia's ability to get the crude to the market. Russia produced 1 in every 10 global oil barrels. US Deputy National Security Advisor Dalip Singh, the mastermind behind US's sanctions against Russia, also visited India to discuss India's current import of Russian energy. Although India is not exactly violating American sanctions, Washington is also not comfortable. We would not like to see mechanisms that are designed to prop up the ruble or to undermine the dollar-based financial system or to circumvent our financial sanctions, said Dalip Singh, US Deputy National Security Advisor. The US is also ramping up its efforts to mitigate the oil crisis. Washington confirmed the release of 1 million barrels per day from its strategic petroleum reserve for the next 6 months. So the US can also help India diversify their energy import, which is what US Deputy National Security Advisor Dalip Singh said. Dalip also came with the optics of the Quad framework, pointing towards China to poke at India's discomfort towards Chinese involvement as Russia's main strategic partner. The more leverage that China gains over Russia, the less favorable that is for India. I don't think anyone would believe that if China once again breaches the line of actual control, Russia would come running to India's defense, said Dalip Singh. Russia is going to be the junior partner in this relationship with China, and suggested that such a partnership would be detrimental to India's interest, especially when Ukraine-Russia conflict has larger implications on the Indo-Pacific. India importing discounted oil means it can help it contain its domestic oil price rise. With lower crude oil prices, domestic petroleum prices can be contained and lower the inflation rate, as costlier petroleum prices have a ripple effect on other commodities. Although India is getting criticism for buying cheap Russian oil, Europe bought 15% more oil and gas from Russia in March than in February. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said it's natural for countries to look for a good deal when the oil prices go up.
I am pretty sure if we wait 2 or 3 months and actually look at who are the big buyers of Russian gas and oil, I suspect the list won't be very different from what it used to be, and I suspect we won't be in the top 10 on that list.
While the West and its allies are trying to arm twist Russia with the belief that cutting the world off from Russian oil will stop the war, there seems to be no direct intervention of them with Russia. For instance, a proxy war with Russia is being fought at Ukraine's expense, and India is coming under scrutiny when the West is out there shopping for its allies.
For more informative videos like this, Keep watching India Today NewsMo.